Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kingdom's Movie Criticisms. I'm Miss M.
And I'm Miss P.
Yes, and today we have a very special guest, Mr. Steven Martini. Welcome.
Hey guys, nice to be here.
Nice. We're going to review his film Bittersweet today. I'm so excited. All right, Miss P, you know what to do. You know what time it is.
Yes, it is the year of our Lord, 7:08 p.m. June 12th, 2026.
You know what time it is.
Uh, uh, if I must. You know how you don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up. Hey, you don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up. You don't need no hype, you better hype yourself up.
This is P&M movie criticisms with the hot sauce. P&M movie criticisms with the hypnotism. P&M movie criticisms. We be getting them P&M movie criticisms. We tell you everything that's hot and everything that's not. Right, Miss P?
Oh,
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to do this because when I got this email and I said Bittersweet, let me go see. Let's watch it. I watched it and I made like a whole here's my face. I made lots of notes. I have like my little character arc, so can't really see it, but these are all my notes that I took on your film. So, ladies and
Wow.
gentlemen, you know, he stars in this film, he directs this film, he produces this film.
Well, hold on. My
And
wife, technically, my
huh?
wife is the producer, capital P. Okay.
Well, she did a bang up job. Kudos to Miss
yeah.
Martini. And well, let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have to rate his Bittersweet, okay? So up at the top we have the Carolina Reaper. Nothing's hotter, nothing's better. This is pure silver screen perfection. Beneath that we have the Ghost Pepper. The Ghost Pepper is hot, but it's missing a crucial element. Beneath the Ghost Pepper we have the jalapeno. The jalapeno is actually, excuse me, the habanero. How can I forget? The habanero is the solid. The jalapeno is the meh, and it's the bell pepper that's meh. Miss P, how do you rate Bittersweet?
Straight up habanero.
There we go.
I'm giving it a habanero.
There we go.
Miss M, what are you
Habanero.
giving it? Yeah.
You have more than one character arc, okay? You have a really good story arc. It kept my attention. The humor is good. I'm gonna give it higher than a habanero. Okay. I am going to say I'm going to give it the I'm gonna give it the ghost pepper habanero blend.
Okay,
All
then I'm
right.
going to change mine to that.
What are you changing it to?
We did talk about it. We did talk about it because at first it was not that. Because remember the first time, then I was like, okay, you brought everything to my attention. I agreed. Then we agreed. Now you're like, oh, I'm going to do a blend. Okay, if we're
But I did a
blending it
blend the
together.
first time. You Missy?
Okay.
I blended it the first time. The same way I blended it with the the ghost pepper and the habanero.
Okay, then I give it the same blend.
Do you have your P in a movies criteria?
Of course. All right, we're going to start with the movie's criticism criteria. Do we like it or do we love it? Number 8, is it historically accurate? Number 7, did it strike my emotions? Number 6, did it keep my attention? Number 5, what are the production elements like? Number 4 is what is the directing like? The quality of acting, the sound quality and effects, and the my favorite thing,
Cinematography.
cinematography.
All right, let's talk about it. Uh, so I know that, usually reviewing films, we don't usually have the person here,
I know, right? The
but
pressure, the pressure.
you can interject at any time, okay? I love the film.
Okay, now to Miss P, I was very confused at first because I was like, is this supposed to be funny or is it supposed to be satire? So that's where I was. I was like, I wanted to laugh. Then I was like, ooh, should I feel bad for laughing? Or is this satire? Is he satiring us? Or am I supposed to laugh? So I did like it. Like I watched it twice. I
Yeah.
watched it twice and I really did. Like after the second watch, I was like, okay, I like it now.
Now, here's
can
the
I
thing.
interject?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I noticed that the difference too when I've watched it with audiences, like you're saying. In the beginning, I noticed like I'm looking around and I'm seeing, oh, at first they don't know either. Is it okay to laugh? And then once one person starts laughing and giggling and gets it, it starts to kind of erupt and get contagious. I just want to say I love this. Thank you guys. This is amazing for me to hear. So keep going. This is super cool for
oh,
me to
oh,
hear your
okay, well,
reactions.
awesome. Well, thank you for choosing us. All right, let's keep doing this.
Are you older? Are you older
Yes.
She's younger than me.
than she?
Oh,
She's younger.
whoa.
Oh, look at
I'm the
that.
oldest and she's the younger
You,
one.
and
Yeah.
are you a parent? Are we one of you guys parents?
Mm-mm.
No, no, I'm not a parent. I'm an educator.
It's educated. Interesting. I'm just trying to figure out like what's the because that's an interesting thing. Because I agree. It's as an artist, you kind of want to know like when can people when do they feel it's okay? It's so fascinating. Anyway, keep going.
All right, so you were talking about okay, I loved it personally. I mean, for me, I see as an educator, I see all types of things. I have students that come from many different types of backgrounds, so I've been exposed to a lot of things, and I've seen it. I loved it. I mean, from the moment you started the movie, um, for me, I'm hooked. It kept my attention. It kept my attention, and I loved it. I did. So you liked it. Let's go to the next part. Now, we don't need to do historical accuracy because this is like I guess realistic fiction, right? So we can skip that. But did it strike your emotions?
Yes, it struck my emotions because he was going down, 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 down. And then he came up, 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 up. And I was so happy. I was so happy at the end. I was like, oh, okay, resolve. Feel so much
That's
better.
funny you say. That's funny you say that because that's Kurt Vonnegut. I don't know if Kurt Vonnegut is a novelist, a famous writer, and there's a
Mhm.
thing that's going around online that says that he had a famous quote where he said, "There's only 7 stories that you can tell," and one of the stories that's just that. A guy falls down in a hole, and he's got to get back up out of the hole, and I used that what you just said. That's when I knew what exactly the basic, just simple structure of what this story was going to be. A guy really just trying to get back home again. An odyssey in a way, but the hole that I had to keep digging was with the whole system, which is again based. I know you guys said historical accuracy. It is based on real events, so like that's the system is in place. The way that it's reflected in the film, it's a little bit fictionalized, but so anyway, keep going.
Hmm. That's an interesting history to know. Okay, all right. I like
There
that.
really is the
Mhm.
there really is a system like that, and I know it because I went through it as I was. This was based off of something that really happened, you know, on a surface level. Once I started, meeting people who were in the system. Also, there's a whole kind of, I don't know, nobody really talks about it, but it's kind of an American rite of passage. A lot of families get caught up in the Department of Child and Family Services, and wives and husbands and men and women are all like in this strange kind of situation, and they're pitted against each other. And so once I started meeting people who were going through some real serious issues, I started, my screenwriter brain just took off and said, wow, I need to tell this story somehow. And in the beginning, I actually wrote a lot more. There was an A story and a B story and a C story. So there was like, different couples going through this thing. If you watch the movie, you see some of those guys in the men's group. I kind of followed them home. You see their family. But again, when you're making a movie, you end up editing things and cutting things away. And the story was just so strongly wanting to be Sam and Gigi's story. So I focused it on that in the editing room the way that it is. So anyway, that's just a little behind the scenes stuff for you guys.
Nice.
That's great.
Have you ever thought of like doing a director's cut just so we could
That's a
see?
good. So I had my first cut was 2.5 hours long. Two and a
Oh.
half hour long first cut is a long time to sit and watch a movie. Martin Scorsese did that with The Irishman. Of course, he had Pacino and De Niro, and it took me like 3 weeks to watch it on my phone. So I said, all right, I got to cut the movie down more than, it's got to be, at least 90 minutes. Even nowadays, younger. I mean, Game of Thrones, the best things on TV are 80 minutes long now. So
Mm.
for me, a movie is anything over, an hour, 70, 80 minutes now. So like I knew I was going to just focus on this one story to tell a movie about Sam and Gigi. And so yeah, but if I guess I could find that cut on my Adobe, and may put it out somewhere, maybe online. That's a good idea.
Because when I watch movies, I always like to hear the director's, like, this is why I did this. I like to hear the director's thought process just so I can get a better understanding of, oh, this is why this character's like this, or this is why she's like this, or this is why these other characters are. That's just something that I do because I nerd out to stuff like that. I always like to hear why people think and do the way they do when
She
they
likes
do
to
it.
listen
Yeah, I
plays
love.
on her free time.
Did you guys grow up in the 90s?
Yes.
Mhm.
So do you remember DVDs
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
I
Yes.
love DVDs.
Yes.
with director commentaries? They used to have the filmmakers talk over the movie and explain that was sort of, a lot of us they didn't go to film school. We would just watch movies and listen to the filmmakers talk. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Mhm.
Anyway, thank
I'm
you. Keep
old
going.
school like that.
Yeah. Should I not interrupt too much? Am I doing it?
No,
I don't know how to
no,
do
no,
this.
no, you're fine.
No. Interrupt as
Okay.
much as you like. I mean, you guys are talking, I'm looking at techie specifics and things, and also studying my rising action. But yeah, it kept your film, it definitely kept my attention. Because I
Well,
was
honestly, I appreciate that more than anything because that's kind of just what you go for right away. It's if you don't get that down, then it's
it
nowadays you never know because the internet seems to have changed everybody's attention span. So, you kind of have
uh-huh.
to base it off of your own instrument, really.
You really actually do, because the attention spans are different now, and now they really, really are. I was telling Miss P because we watched the film separately and then together, so we could really analyze the film. I was telling her about Gigi, that she comes from South America, and I said she probably comes from somewhere in northern Brazil because she's saying, when the police come over, she says, "It needs to go to the police. Oh, I see a bruise." So all of them going like I see, and then they see the bite mark, right? So she says, he beat me. I was like, did she know she means bite? because they have a problem pronouncing they have to practice saying their
Right.
vowels,
That's
right?
so right. Right. That I mean, yeah, exactly. That's literally what I based the movie off of. Once I that moment was the moment when I said, "Oh, this is the movie." And then, that's when I knew I could write the script, you know? So, yeah, you were able to hone in on exactly that. And so, yeah, I appreciate you, pointing that out.
Yeah, that part was funny. And I was like, and so because I was like, I don't know, because I've had students from South America, and I've had very interesting sessions with the word beach and you know
Right?
and how to and how to say it correctly. But it kept my
Well,
attention.
my wife is Brazilian, so, she was my muse for that. That's something that I find endearing as well, as a when we first met, it was one of the cutest things I could encounter as it happens when you first meet. I
Oh,
thought it was funny how it turns into this. It turns.
well, that's
So yeah,
amazing. So that's amazing. So there's actually some Brazilian. Excellent. So that's a okay. So that's nice, nice. I was right, Miss P.
you're right.
So Miss P,
She plays. My wife plays Gigi, and she produced the movie, and most of our crew was Brazilian. So
when
we were able to make it with a great Brazilian crew of filmmakers, and Brazil is a big part of our production.
oh, whoa, wow,
Our food, our catering every day was Brazilian buffet. It was amazing on our set.
I'm jealous.
Uh-uh.
That's how you want to run a set. That's what you want. Everybody loves showing up every day. That's what I love about filmmaking is the group. Everybody getting together and getting on the same page ish. And trying to figure it out. It's so much fun.
That is a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. I wish I could have been there. I mean, not just for the food, of course, and but but Miss P, I gotta ask you, did it did it keep your attention?
I told you the first time I watched it, I was very like, "Ooh, I cannot laugh, can I?"
Interesting.
So
Well, yeah, I knew that. I kind of knew that would happen.
so I was kind of like, "Ooh, is this meant to be funny? Is this meant to be serious?" Because the thing that threw me for the loop, I was like, "Oh, the cartoon." Like the cartoon at first. I really liked the cartoon because I was like, already, yep. I was like, I'm gonna watch this because I like stuff like that. Stuff that the cartoon basically played out the movie and I like stuff. So it kept my that so I was like, ooh, yeah, let me watch this. And then I was just like, oh yeah, I felt bad. I felt so bad for dude. So I was like, oh no, this is
And
getting worse and worse and worse.
she was very triggered by what was happening to Sam. She really was. Like, when she felt Miss P felt like the system was taking advantage, that they were being manipulated, and she and everything. So what that tells me is that this is really good writing because for Miss P to get so triggered for what's happening to him, she has to be emotionally connected and tied to him. And so she bonded with him, right? And I was rooting for Sam too because he usually we do our production elements, but I feel like I really do want to look at that. Production elements are definitely very strong, but I kind of want to really more delve into the story. What about you, Miss P?
Wait, can I just say something really quick?
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Miss P, that whole animated opening credit sequence was all my wife's idea. My wife was like, "We need opening credits, and we need them to be the cartoon version of the movie." And I was like, "Wow, that's a really okay." I was like, "Do you know anybody who can do that?" And again, she went down to Brazil and paid a Brazilian animator to make the animated opening credits of the movie.
She is a good
And
producer.
and Yeah, I was like, amazing. So kudos. I'm glad you brought that up because she'll be really happy when I go home tonight.
Wow,
'Cause
good
that's what caught
movie.
my attention the first time looking at it. I was like, "Yes. Yes."
And you know what's interesting is when we got that first cut of so to take you guys back, I had that 2.5 hour cut of a movie, and it had all more storylines in it, and and I put my music in it, and I said this is the spine of the movie, and after that I gave it to a what I call a ninja editor, a real editor, somebody who works for like Blumhouse. Blumhouse is like a
Mhm.
horror film studio, and he
Oh,
knows he's edited some amazing movies before, like Unfriended. If you see Unfriended, it all takes place on like a computer screen, and it's amazing. Anyway, somebody who can edit. Editing is a real art form, and it's the final, it's the final boss of filmmaking, really, and screenwriting, and and so it's you want somebody who can really edit your movie. So I got him to edit my 2.5 hour movie down to 84 minutes,
hmm.
and that 84-minute cut, when he gave it to me,
That's awesome.
I didn't miss one scene at all.
Wow.
And the 84-minute movie is the movie that you guys see, but he gave me a movie with his music on it. I said, "Here's my music, but you can put your music on it, whatever you think." As an editor, they like to work with music.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
music that he put on really, really sad music. It was really sad. And that sadness that you're talking about for the character, it really brought out a sad kind of feeling about the whole movie. And me and my wife watched the movie for like we sat with it for like a week saying, "Wow, we made a it was like beautiful, but it was really sad." And like, is that sad? Is that we do? I don't know if I want people to walk out of the movie feeling that sadness. That my intention is to bring levity and lightness to this, situation which could have been really tragic. And so like I, I spent a lot of time changing the music and changing the levels of that to bring out more levity and make it less sad, basically. Like you're talking about, you felt this profound sadness. I really had to like kind of, as an artist, I had to kind of fight that and bring up levity with the music and with different things in the comedic elements of it. Anyway, that's my long-winded response to your wonderful assessment. By the way, thank you. This is really great hearing all this stuff.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, you gave us a lot to work with here because you have good production elements, but not only that, though, when we look at the directing, in the beginning, Sam, they both, him and his wife, Gigi, they both have trouble communicating to the police officers, right? And it's because of this communication breakdown that he ends up in jail and in this unfair, manipulative system. And so I think that it has really good exposition, and then he ends up in this, there's the stint in jail, right? And then there's the courthouse that they have to go to, and then there's the domestic violence group, but it wasn't that. It's just, they get a little bit of saucy, a little bit of saucy in the bedroom with the wolf, right? And
Well,
and
right. That's the thing. It's a mistake. He's an innocent man in a situation. He fell down in a hole and he shouldn't be in the hole. So yeah, but I did want to show that the system is in place for, a good reason. The system wants to protect people who go through, bad domestic, really violent situations, so you know what I mean? And that's kind of like the seriousness behind, the movie that I approached it with more levity.
you know something? And
Hey, I have a question.
let's see. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Okay,
No, you
so
go
I had
ahead.
a bunch of questions because I even said it the second time. When I watched it, I was like, "How did he go from jail?" I was like, "Wait, he's in jail. Where did those clothes come from?" Going, where did his clothes
The
come
jacket,
from? Then I was
the
like,
jacket. You need. He
wait.
had a night.
I was like, wait.
He
And
had a
then
night.
the girls, I was like, okay. I was like, where'd the girls come from? Then I was like, what kind of court? I was like, this is a kangaroo court, if anything. I was like, this is kangaroo court. This ain't real court. Then that's where I was like, oh, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh now. I understand. I see. I see.
Ah, right, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. And, what I thought was funny anyway, so the real family court, if you go there for children's court, they really do have these little kid tiny chairs, and they got stuffed animals and Mickey Mouse all around, and so once I saw that in real life, I said, "I've never seen this before in a movie," and, these lawyers in suits and these tiny chairs and little playgrounds and toys, and so I was like, "Oh, this is just" it's whimsical in a certain way, and I just thought I had to do that. I just felt like compelled, like I wanted to put that on film. That's the
Okay.
way that you make movies.
That's excellent production design.
Uh-huh.
Well, I wrote it that was took I shot it in a I wrote it in a cafe down the block from my house,
Mm,
and that playground and the courtroom and a whole bunch of 9 locations, I had them all in the cafe that I wrote the movie in. And when you're making independent movies, you gotta find out, where your locations are. So if I knew I got 9 locations in the same cafe, I could make my movie, for affordable price.
very nice, very savvy, and good with the business side as well. I love that. I really do. You know what I really like about this film? I like the rising action. It is actually building up, and I appreciate it. And you have setups and payoffs where you actually get to see Sam's character growth where, for example, where his car gets impounded. He needs $600. I should have said probably that's a spoiler alert, everybody. He's I'm a little late. Please forgive me, audience. Please forgive me. So,
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That won't ruin it.
oh, okay. Well, he takes the opportunity. He says he's about to get the car, and then thinks about the ring for Gigi. He goes, "No, I'm not gonna spend this on my clunker. Okay, I am going to spend it on something that really makes my heart go boom." And that's this woman that I'm gonna make her my wife. This is character growth, and I love that character growth. I love the rising action. I love that from the being booked in jail with those characters, the 50 feet restraining order, and then the therapy sessions. What do we call those sessions he has to go through where he meets his crew? All of those characters work together to push the story forward. They're not just there. Okay, because one's like, "Okay, I'll give you $200 per bottle for pee." 'Cause he needs clean pee, right, for his kid. That's how he gets the $600, so they're not just there, they are a part of the journey, and they also help push the story forward as well. So I really appreciate how every scene was thought out and every scene helps push the story along, and those characters, they also help push the story along as well. Especially you have Rodrigo he helps put some icing on top of the cake, moving the story as well because he's moving in on Gigi, right? So I mean, I like it. What do you think, Miss P, about the rising action, your climax, just both the story arc, character arcs?
I told you. I liked it. I liked the I'm a man guy. Be a man. I like that guy. Because it made me I was like, "Why? Why is this?" I was like, "Ooh, this is some form of really hyperactive masculinity." I was like, "That's too masculine." I was like, "Ooh."
You
And
talking
then
about Zimmerman?
yes, be a man. Be a man.
You
I'm a
talking about
man.
Zimmerman?
I'm a man. That guy. Yeah, I liked him because he even had a character arc
Baldwin.
and resolve.
Yes, and he also had a character arc, I don't see her name here. But, Sam had a character arc with the social worker, because in the beginning, when she's talking to her, she is strict with him, she is straight-faced, she is all about "Man, man, man." All she knows is that he's in here for beating on his wife. She has no respect for him. But when they're up in that attic and everything, and she hurts her ankle, they have a bonding moment, and even she gets on his side. So that's another thing. Kudos for bringing those character arcs. And then on top of that, it's so hard to have more than one character arc. But you have a character arc for Sam, you have a character arc for Gigi, you have a character arc for the social worker. There's multiple character arcs here that are tied, and this story makes a full arc. It makes a full circle here,
Well,
honestly.
I appreciate you calling that out, because I've been making movies since for 30 years now, and my first movie was Major Payne, and one of the major things I learned from Major Payne was, it was a character arc one of the most is the only reason why you make a movie, uh, you know, to have some substance. And my character Alex Stone had a character arc, and all those other kids did, and I had that in my system, and I became a professional screenwriter for most of my time out in Hollywood. After Major Payne, at some point, I started writing. So as a screenwriter, that's pretty much the job. That's the work every day. You got to figure out how you're going to make those, arcs happen in ways that are organic and believable. And, and you don't want to go too far. You don't want to, keep it, you want to keep it, it really depends on the tone of the movie, obviously. But I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Miss P, quality of acting, sound quality and effects.
Okay. So, one, I liked it because the sound quality. Okay. So, my biggest thing is, can I understand what people are saying? Like, I'm
Without
like,
subtitles?
yes. Because my thing is, if I can't understand what you're saying, I want to turn the movie off. That is my biggest
Yeah,
thing
of course.
is if I can't understand or if I don't know what's going on, if it sounds muffled, like nope, nope, I'm done. I'm out of here.
And how was the sound in the movie? Was it all right?
Yes. I just wish Mhm. I just wish that we would have heard more of your music like throughout the whole thing. Like I know that
Thank
you
you. I agree.
I
I
wish
agree with
because
that. That
the way that it made me feel, I just felt bad. Like, cause the music can bring you up or it can bring you down, and it was really, really
right.
good, but I just wish there was more, like, not necessarily happy sounds or whatnot, but just more, like
I know what you're saying.
uh, yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
'Cause I
I
felt so
appreciate
bad.
that. Yeah, I know. I know. It's I know it happens. It's a thing you have to, it's so interesting when you want to be sympathetic with a character. It's a fine line.
It is, it is. See, as you can probably tell our styles as a P&M, she gets into those other things, and me, she gets into all the other different types of details. Me, I'm all about story and character arcs and things like that, and she is too. But we have our different things that we kind of pick.
I get it. I love it. I love it. This is great.
I mean, honestly, I mean, I like it. There was no act there at no time in it did the acting make me go, or, oh, or, you know? That never happened. And then, you continue to watch the movie to do the due diligence of actually being able to, like, really analyze the film, but that never happened. That never happened. No one's acting took me out of it. Nobody's acting made me sigh. Nobody's acting. Everybody did a really good job, especially Mr. William Baldwin. Yes. But, he has skin in the game, right?
Billy Baldwin is a Baldwin. He's Hollywood royalty.
Yes. He definitely did draws and yes, I'm a man. And something, he pushes that story forward as well because what I really like about that scene is this is when Sam calls Gigi. He's not supposed to call her, but he makes it even his character again pushes the story forward, right? So each
Yeah.
character pushes the story forward, and I love when I see that. There's each you can see the meticulousness of the craft that and the time you put into this. How many hours would you say you spent on crafting this story?
The script,
Yeah.
I mean, just on the page,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
uh, probably, it takes, that script probably took around a year, maybe 2 years of, like, on the page, "Okay, I'm gonna make this into a movie. I see this in my head. I know I can make this if I shoot it in my house," like, and I shoot it in the cafe with 9 locations, and I thought I was gonna shoot it on my iPhone. I just knew I was gonna make something that I could kinda do cheaply, on the street, and I kept saying that, and yeah, it probably took me like 2 years.
Well, you can tell that there is a lot of time that's placed into this.
But then the movie itself took another few, like, years to make, after we didn't shoot it all at once. We didn't have all the money at once. It's like a whole thing. It's like we shot it over 6 different shooting blocks. So, like, and every time we got together, it was almost like a TV series. All the crew, everybody was like, this is the episode 6, So it was a different way than people usually make movies all at once.
Yeah, well, sometimes the best films are made like that. Like you come
Yeah, I
from a
know.
little part. Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta make it any way you can. You gotta figure out how to finish a film once you start it.
But
Well,
see, here's what I'm gonna say. This is so good because it wasn't a lot of words. Okay, so let me explain something to you. I have a qualm about Mad Max Furiosa, right? It's the big
oh,
qualm. I
Let's
bring it
go.
up everyone. I mean, every chance that I get, I bring it up because
every
that is the most
episode.
movie. That is the movie that I hate the most, and I say that with a lot of like, you shouldn't hate anything, but that movie I hate. This movie, I was like, yes, there's talking, but there's action. There is resolve. It makes me feel good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without that, I would have been like Mad Max Furiosa. Oh no,
Right, I
oh
agree.
no.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. No, I really truly appreciate that comparison and in ways you may not understand yet because I had a similar reaction to that, especially after Fury Road, because Fury Road was the best Mad Max movie. It was so good. Oh my god. But, thank you. Yeah, of course, you gotta figure out how to wrap it up and end your what you're gonna leave people with, because or else, what are you doing?
There you go.
Yeah.
I still want
Mhm.
me personally, I still want to hear that director's cut. I want to see the reasons why. I mean, I'm not, if you want to, which I think you should, I just want to hear your reasons why that you did this and this and this. Or, oh, if this movie's different, why is it different? Or, oh, you should have left that in.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, you should
I
sit
would
down
love
with
to
your
see
wife.
it. Mm.
I'm sorry. I think you should sit down with your wife, like you and her, do the like, because she was the producer.
Mhm.
I always think it's important. It's she could have her say, you have your say, bring it together, and voila.
That's a
I
great
think
idea. We just have to sit down in front of the footage again. It's like sitting down in front of a once you're done with these
it
things, you gotta crack it back open, you know?
that's true. That is very true. Honestly, I'm all here for it. Yeah, I'll be waiting. Just let us know so we can watch it. Yes, 'cause I think it's great. You know, this film has amazing themes. You know, your dialogue, the and you're incorporating that dialogue from South America in there and that dialect. You're incorporating how families go through dysfunctionality. It's your they're talking about ADHD, autism as well. I mean, and these are all
Well,
points that need to be
I was diagnosed, I found out it was in my family, around the time I was started writing this before I started writing the script. I was trying to figure it out for myself, and being on the spectrum is a whole thing. Once you kind of wake up to that, that's like whoa. So I wanted to reflect that less. I didn't want to hit people over the head with it, in the movie. Like I'm not a fan of like you know just browbeating people with like a didactic polemic about discovering my autistic superpowers or something like that's a move. People can make that movie, but I wanted to have it just be in part of like the direction, the feel, the vibe of what he was going through in the character. I wanted it to just be his in my performance.
But it
well,
comes across that way though. You can see it. Like when he's in the court and you're just like, ooh, and you see it from his perspective, it's like everybody's high up and he's
Yeah.
way down. And then the
Yeah.
judge is looking over at him and he's down and then he has to look up and I was like, ooh. I was like, I see what he's doing there. I
we're
like that.
talking about
I was just like, there's just that I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then certain things I was like, no.
yeah, the
No,
shocking
no.
part it did
you
well
you you you
comedically.
should make movies.
Well, you know something, we're working on it.
You do
We're
it.
working on it.
Do it. That's
We're gonna
great.
do it. We're gonna make a movie. We just have to
You guys
finish
know how to
writing the
talk about
script.
it.
Well, you heard him, Miss P.
Look, you see me?
I see you.
I'm ready.
Yeah, no, just get on the page. Just write it down. Write it all down, and stay focused on getting it on the page because then you can bring it up on the screen.
Oh, there you have it. I think that might be a sign, Miss P, about what we might our next steps and about what we need to do. Honestly, I mean, you know something, and hearing you talk about how, you had to go back, you had to shoot and then recoup, go back and you talk about the process in the years, and that speaks a lot for the passion that you have for the craft. I don't know, it's very inspirational, and we might have to think about it, you know.
It's
I do
worth it
have
in
a
the end when you get
You're
to sit
going
and look
great,
at it.
sir.
huh?
I'm like, what you're going great. How much would you charge us? Oh, if we need you to act in this movie.
She has a wink, wink. You're so silly.
I know, right?
Oh my
Send me
god, this
send me
is
your script when you're done. I'll give you my I'll do I'll give you my I'll do my thing. I know I love sitting down talking about scripts and stories.
All
oh,
right.
alright, let's do it.
Well, we're gonna hold you to that.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have a
all right.
bl
I'll trust me. Throw the
yeah,
ball at me. I'll throw it right back. Let's go.
yeah,
Nice.
let's do it. Let's see. I just Miss P, do you have anything else you wanna say about this film?
Me,
Well, now she's thinking
I
about
think
her own
that if
movie.
you haven't seen it, watch it. It's worth the watch.
Mhm.
It's on Tubi. It's very funny. Like, don't be scared to laugh. I know at first you might be like, "Ooh, should I laugh this? Should I not laugh?" But it's worth it. It's worth
Yeah.
the investment and taking your time to watch it.
All right, good. And one more thing, I was going to ask you, didn't you feel like one thing I really appreciate about the movie, if I say so myself, is nobody can put their politics on it. Politics and all that stuff. Like everybody's just like, oh, this is a story. It doesn't really like, again, hit you over the head with any kind of political whatever. It's just like
Mhm.
maybe, I just think that to me, again, as a writer, I try and make it just so that, like it's a story that really appeals to the heart of, of a person and not like any kind of political all this stuff. It's hard to escape now when we're on the internet. Everything is so political, so for me personally, I like stories that don't really hit you over the head with.
Definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it and subscribe and share and ask us questions nicely. You know how to do it. And Mr. Steven Martini, thank you so much for joining us today. It was such a pleasure doing this deep dive on Bittersweet with you.
Thank you guys. This was a blast. I got to send you when my phone cracked out because it said it was too hot in the car. It showed a red thermometer and it said the iPhone is too hot. So it was perfect. It was the ghost pepper, or what was the top one again?
Yeah,
Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper.
Reaper is the Reaper.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, ooh. Yes. Well, hey, everybody. We'll see you guys later. Bye. I miss him and I'm out.
And I'm Miss P. Bye.